Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're taking a look at the history of Depeche Mode.
Here is a place, miles to you. Nobody knows me as well as you do.
Electronic band Depeche Mode formed in Basildon, Essex, England in 1980. Originally a foursome, the group has been a trio since 1995. Its current lineup consists of vocalist Dave Gahan, guitarist Martin Gore, and keyboard player Andy Fletcher. While Depeche Mode was playing gigs around London, they were approached by Mute Records. Soon after, they released a number of singles. These included Dreaming of Me and Just Can't Get Enough, and this song was their first top 10 UK hit.
It's getting hotter, it's a burning love, and I just can't seem to get enough.
The group's debut, Speak and Spell, came out in 1981. Despite mixed reviews, the synth-pop album hit the top 10 on the UK charts. Due in part to the songwriting of original member Vince Clarke, the effort was much lighter in tone than later Depeche Mode material. Clarke left the band shortly after its release. After Gore took over songwriting duties, the group released several singles. These included the UK top 10 song See You.
All I wanna do is see you. Don't you know that it's true?
After a couple of shows, they came out with album number 2, A Broken Frame, in 1982.
I've read more than 100 books. Seen love man too many thousand times.
The official addition of keyboardist Alan Wilder to the band produced a more synthesizer and sample-heavy sound for their next album. Influenced by industrial music, 1983's Construction Time Again generated the top 10 UK hit Everything Counts, and this track showcased the record's socio-political themes. In 1984, the group came out with Some Great Reward, and this record concentrated on more personal topics.
We call it Master and Servant.
The album was their first to enter the US charts and contained the single People Are People. That song reached the top 5 in several European countries and broadened Depeche Mode's success outside the UK.
People, so why should it be? You and I should get along so awfully.
The record Black Celebration dropped in 1986. On this album, the band's industrial pop style was melded with an atmospheric sound, and the lyrics were markedly darker. Singles included the songs Stripped and A Question of Time. The next year, Depeche Mode released Music for the Masses.
I'm taking a ride with my best friend.
This album experimented even more with synthesizers and became their highest-charting US release thus far. It generated a few modestly successful singles, such as Behind the Wheel and Strange Love. A breakthrough American tour followed, and this was chronicled in the 1989 live album and concert documentary 101. However, it was the 1990 record Violator that turned Depeche Mode into worldwide superstars. The best-selling disc became their first to reach the Billboard 200 Top 10. It also spawned some of their biggest hit singles.
Never again is what you swore the time before you wrote. That's enough, Jesus. All I ever wanted, all I ever needed is here in my arms.
1993 saw the release of the band's next album. Songs of Faith and Devotion featured both grunge and gospel influences on their dance and electronic sound.
You stumbled in my footsteps.
The opus debuted on the top spot of both the UK and US charts and yielded successful tunes like Walking in My Shoes and I Feel You. The subsequent tour was documented in the Grammy-nominated concert video Devotional, which was released later that year. Following Wilder's departure and Gahan's stint in drug rehab, Depeche Mode came out with Ultra in 1997. It was another #1 in the UK and peaked at the 5th position on the US Billboard chart. Notable singles included Barrel of a Gun and It's No Good.
Gonna take my time. I have all the time in the world.
3 years after releasing the compilation, the singles 86 to 98, the album Exciter came out. The more minimalist-sounding disc received mixed reviews and spawned the single Dream On.
Can you feel a little love?
It was followed by a tour and the 2002 live DVD One Night in Paris. The remix compilation Remixes 81 to 04 came out 2 years later. Depeche Mode then released the album Playing the Angel in 2005.
All this running around, well, it's getting me down. Just give me a pain that I'm used to.
The disc charted within the top 10 in the UK and US and had a hit with Precious.
Precious and fragile things.
Playing the Angel was also the first to have gone as a co-writer, and his work is seen on such singles as Suffer Well.
Let's just hang on, suffer well.
The Greatest Hits collection, The Best of Depeche Mode Volume 1, came out in 2006. 3 years later, their 12th record was released. Sounds of the Universe received mostly positive reviews and peaked within the top 5 in the UK and the US.
I was in the wrong place at the wrong time for the wrong reason and the wrong right.
In 2011, Depeche Mode issued their second remix collection, Remixes 2, 81 to 11, and this release spanned their complete discography. Thanks to their groundbreaking sampling and recording methods, Depeche Mode has become one of the most popular electronic acts in history.
Reach out and touch faith.